Hey people, Fairy Finley here. Just want to discuss with you guys about podiatrists. So, what is a podiatrist? A podiatrist is a specialist who focuses in biomechanics. So they basically figure out and work with exactly how the skeletal system works in conjunction with all the muscles and tendons and other sinew. And some smart cookie along the way figured out that it's all interconnected. What starts at the ground level affects all the way up. So if you've got a bad foundation to stand on, you're going to be having pain all the way up. If you have a good foundation, you're not going to have any problems. And this is quite important, because to not have a good foundation is extremely painful. And I should know, I've been to podiatrists since I was like 5 years old. And I'm basically flat foot. And that is when the plantar, the very bottom of your feet, the bones in it are formed in a way where there is no arch. So that causes a lot of problems because my ankles roll inwards. And that causes problems all the way up to the base of my neck. So podiatry isn't just diagnosing foot fungus and fixing ingrown toes. They do that as well, but they predominantly work on the whole skeletal system alignment. So if your bones aren't in the correct alignment, the correct position, they'll have a lot of pressure put onto them. And it can cause early arthritis, it can cause a lot of pain within the bones, makes them more susceptible to snapping. It's just beyond my comprehension what can happen if someone's doing a lot of strenuous work with their bones out of alignment. So, how do you tell if your bones are out of alignment? You get pains in your feet. You get pains in the bone of your shins. So your tibia is the word for the front bone in the lower part of your leg. And the labia is the one around the calf area, so it's the one behind it. So your tibia will probably get a lot of pain. Your knees will ache and crack and creak. And then that pain will just keep going up to your hips, then up through your spine. And it can get to a point where you have that much pressure on your vertebrates, which are the individual discs of your spine, that in between your shoulder blades you can feel like someone is standing behind you with a stiletto knife, stabbing you in the back, right between the vertebrae constantly. That is not fun. Trust me on that. And then it can run all the way up and cause tension headaches. And I'm not going to panic here, because you're probably going, holy shit, I didn't know that. It's a very easy fix. And the easy fix is you're given something that is like an inner sole for your shoe. And these special inner soles for your shoe are custom made to correct your entire skeletal system. They're just a prosthetic that you put in your shoes. And they make the world of difference. Oh, so they make the world of difference. Just a simple little insert in your shoes. Very quiet, very discreet. And it's so comfy. Oh, the comfort. If you think that your joggers and walking shoes couldn't get any more comfortable, think again. Oh, so anyway, enough fawning over it. So I see a podiatrist periodically. And because as you grow, as your bones and your muscle memory becomes a thing, they need adjusting, and sometimes they just plain wear out. I had worn holes in my last ones. They were that dead. And I'm pretty pleased with that. I got my money's worth. They did get adjusted a few times. But my skeletal alignment starts with my feet. I have no arch. So on my feet, you'll notice that on the inside of your feet, there is that gap between the innermost part of your foot and the floor. And it's usually about 1 inch tall. And it tapers in to the very edge of your feet. And it's quite noticeable when you're walking in damp sand and you get those footprints that kind of look weird. And so that bit of your foot that's missing, that's your arch. And if you can see the entirety of your footprint, you have no arch. So my orthotics give me a prosthetic arch. I think that's the best way I can say it. And what this arch does is it turns a curve. So you've got the flat of my foot, and then you have my bones and tendons of my ankle being lopsided. So we've basically gone from that to now it's straight, as it should be. And you can just pretend that this bit is the bone sticking out on the side. Okay. So now that my ankle is now perfectly straight and not to the side, it then rotates my knees. So my knees themselves start pointing a different way. So instead of pointing inwards or outwards, they're now straight as they should be. And that runs up to your pelvis, your hips. And because your ball socket there, your knees have changed their position, which means the bones have turned. They've turned just that enough to rotate your pelvis so that it's then sitting nice and straight how it's supposed to sit on the axis of your hips, of your femur, which is the bone in your thigh. So that's all neatly done. So nice and straight, not straight, not straight, nice and straight. And then of course that goes onto your spine. So it has this knock-on effect. So I've gone from having a horrible S-bend in my lower back, shoulder pain, shin pain, knees always creaking and going click and clack and crack, to I now don't get the click, clack and crack, snap, crackle, pop, in my joints anywhere near as much. I don't get the pain in my ankles and my shin bones. Bone pain is one of the worst. I think how it goes: burns, nerve pain, bone pain. In that tier, from worst to least, I think bone pain would be up in the top 5 of the worst pains out there from my knowledge. Feel free to contradict me on that. I have no problem with you correcting me, but from what I can ascertain, that's bone pain's up there. So I've basically gone from having bone pain in my legs that bad I couldn't walk, to having pains in my upper back, headaches and all that. So having these special inserts have changed my life dramatically. And it's amazing what I can now do that I remember I couldn't do because I was in pain. So yes, podiatrists focus on the feet. No, they aren't specifically doctors that look specifically at the feet. They look at how you stand on your foot in relation to your entire posture, the way your skeletal system lines up. So yeah, that's probably something you guys didn't know. And it's always great to get information beyond what you previously had. So yeah, podiatrists aren't just doctors that look at your feet. They are doctors that specialize in biomechanics. And it's fascinating, it's amazing. And yeah, that's as much as I can say on the subject. So if you're having pains in your bones and your posture's not right and you're getting tension headaches and all this crap, it might just be see a podiatrist. If you don't need orthotics, woohoo! If you do need orthotics, I warn you, a new pair of orthotics is going to cost you $500. Now don't scoff at that, because I know people that pay that much for a pair of boots. And when you consider these are interchangeable for all your different boots, you get your money's worth. And like I said, I had my last pair for a good 10 years and I wore holes in them. So, yeah. I love my orthotics. And, over and out from the Fur in Finley.